Story time, scene one, take one. What is going on, you guys? So story times have been highly requested. Now listen, I can't start pumping out story time videos because then I'd have to start making them up, like 98% of most YouTubers do. So if you're a YouTuber and you're watching this right now and the shoe fits, then you wear it, because I truly don't give a anymore. So just relax. I'll bring you guys as many story times as possible, as well as make new story times as I just keep living my life. So for this video, I'm gonna tell you guys about the time that my car got broken into, my radio got stolen, and that resulted in me getting into a fight. Believe it or not, I don't give a anymore. So this story took place back in February of 2015. That's fairly recent, not even 2 years ago. It happened like 2 months before I moved to California. So I go to my dad's house one night because he wanted me to run an errand for him. He was gonna pay me for it. Here I am about to go to California, so I needed all the money I could possibly get. So I pulled up to his house and I parked right there in front of his house on the street because no houses in his neighborhood had any driveways. So I'm parked, I go inside and I talk to my dad for a little bit, and then he wanted me to take his car to go do these errands, so I was like, all right, no problem. I took his car and went to go do his business. And no, I was not transporting drugs. Or I might have very well been on my Pablo Escobar shit. You'll never find out. So I left my car keys with my dad, and when I pulled off, I texted him saying, hey, make sure you lock my car doors. And by the way, the keys were to the car that I had before I moved to California, not the new one that I purchased while I was in California. But the keys I'm referring to, the lock button on it didn't work, so you had to manually go and lock the car door. And yes, Ghostbusters lanyard. Don't judge me.
Who you gonna call?
But my dad's lazy, he wasn't gonna do that. But I was also thinking to myself, like, my dad has his house surrounded with cameras and 2 very large pit bulls. So if anything was gonna happen to my car, then the dogs would see it, or he would see it on camera, and I'm safe, right? No, I wasn't. So check this out. I'm going for 20 to 25 minutes at most. And when I pull back to the neighborhood, I see my dad in the middle of the street, and it appears to me that he's yelling. So in my mind, I'm like, all right, my dad's crazy. So I race to park the car. I get out. I'm like, what is going on? A lot of bad words later, he tells me that this person across the street stole the radio out of my car. And I'm like, huh? So I go to my car to further investigate what exactly was taken. And I was thinking to myself, this guy is a complete idiot, because he didn't even take the most important part of a radio. He took my faceplate and he took my dash kit. He didn't even take the wire harness, the receiver. I was like, you're bright. You're very... Oh, you're blinding me. But he did take my collection of Eminem CDs, and that hit me in the heart, so I got mad. So there I was, obviously upset, and I look back and I see my dad banging and beating on the door to tell this dude to come out. He was like 24 years old, and he still lived at home with his mom. So his mom answered the door, was like, what's the problem? What's going on? And my dad was like, listen, your son stole my son's radio and other things out of his car. Tell him to come outside and no one gets hurt, even though my dad was gonna hurt him anyway. My dad is basically like Rick Grimes, only without walkers. So you can do the math.
Me? You mean me?
So there I was hanging out like Carl. I mean, I was obviously very upset, but I was like, I'm about to move. I'm getting rid of the car anyway. Like, we got him on camera. We can just call the cops. Let's not worry about it. My dad was like, quit being soft. And I was like, if I wasn't moving, I would have already had him in my grip. But I'm not trying to go to jail. You have a bad record, bro. So a couple minutes passed and my dad grew very angry because this dude wasn't coming out. So he broke the screen door, he shattered the glass, and this dude came to the door. My dad pulled him out from the bottom of the screen door, like this little square section, literally pulled him out and started beating him. Now keep in mind, this was in the middle of February and there was still snow and ice on the ground. So there my dad was beating him, and he slipped and he fell, and it gave the chance for the other dude to get up. So when he got up, I broke them up. I was like, look, I'm very mad. I want to hurt you, but I'm moving. I'm trying to think ahead in the future. So I tried to break them up, and this dude, he punched me. So when he did that, I bullshit you not, all I could see was red. I didn't even know what was going on. I just knew I wanted him severely beaten or dead. Like, I was just... something snapped. And the thing about me is that I'm very laid back. I'm very conservative. I stick to myself. I don't want to fight anybody. But if you cross this line and you put your hands on me, that's a completely different ball game, and that caused for a reaction. So when he decided to make the worst mistake of his life and cross me, I had my glasses on. So I had my glasses on, my North Face on. He hit me, and I hit him with one of these. I was like, put my glasses in my little North Face zip-up pocket, zipped it back up, I faced him, and I remember the look he had in his eyes, like he knew he just messed up. Now, I don't know if you've ever been in a fight, but if you have been in a fight, then you know what I'm talking about. Like, your adrenaline's pumping, and you just fight. But all I remember was I grabbed him by his throat with both of my hands. And I have big hands, I'm 6'8". I grab him by his throat, I pick him up, I drop him, I then mount him, and I hit him 3 times right in his mouth, busted his mouth up, cut my knuckle up. I don't remember, I'm pretty sure I hit him more. I just kind of, like I said, I was just seeing red. I don't know. But I do remember when I grabbed him by his throat, he did punch me in my forehead. And I'm like, look, if you're gonna punch me, you better knock me out. Just pray you knock me out. And now some of you probably thinking to yourself like, oh, you're talking all big and bad, la la la. Like I said, I'm conservative, I'm laid back. I don't want to fight with anybody. I don't pick any fights. But if you cross that line with me, you better either knock me out or hope somebody's there to stop me. And that is real shit. And that's exactly what my dad did. My dad pulled me off of him, and I remember him laying in the snow, and around his whole head was just bloody. And I was like, oh, that's when I snapped out of it, like, oh shoot. Are you all right? Like, I was thinking like, are you okay? But then I realized like, you punched me, so okay. I'm a lover, not a fighter, but as soon as anything bad happens, I always feel kind of bad. But for every action is a reaction. Some people are just stupid and they make bad choices. It's a part of life. So then the guy slowly got up and walked back inside, shut his door, and I heard it lock. And then by that time, the cops had pulled up, they got out, they said, what is going on? What happened here? There's been a report of something been stolen out of a vehicle and also a fight going on. So then my dad talked to the 2 police officers and told them what happened, and out of self-defense, there was a fight. That's why there's blood there in the snow. And then the cops asked us if we had any weapons. Now this may shock some of you guys, I haven't even told you yet, but I did in fact have a handgun on me, a Glock 40 to be exact. So now you might be thinking like, what? You had a gun on you? Like you really work for a drug cartel, don't you? I knew it. Well, no, but I do have a license to carry a handgun. I mean, times are bad. You never know. And also, if you don't believe me, here it is, license to carry handgun in the state of Indiana. So the cops are cool with it because it was perfectly legal. And don't turn my comments to a debate like, oh, white privilege. Oh, lucky you didn't get shot. I don't want to hear it. It will be deleted and blocked. So keep that in mind. So while the cops were on the scene, they did not do anything. They knocked on his door, they told him to come out, but he chose not to come out, and they didn't have a warrant to go inside his house. So they said, look, he's not coming out. We can't do anything. If you want to, you can file a police report. So I did that just to be on the safe side. So the cops left, and that's that. I never got the Face to My radio back, and I never got my Eminem CDs back, but I moved and got a new car anyway, so it is what it is. But a few months later, this lady called me and told me that she worked for like court services or something like that, and this guy had been arrested, and they want to know if I want to actually like press charges and file for some type of financial compensation or something like that. He has to pay me money for what he took, but there's no guarantee that I ever see it, and I never saw it. But he got what he deserved. But my brother and my cousin, rest in peace to my cousin, they found out this guy stolen it and basically got away with these things. And they went to his house, they broke every single window in his house, and they went inside. They beat the dude and tied him to a furnace, chained him to a furnace. My family's fucking crazy. So the moral of the story is, you can take what you want from it. Paint your own picture. I don't know. Don't steal and you won't get your ass beat 3 times. There you go. But life goes on. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button because I truly, honestly, greatly appreciate it. Also, subscribe to my channel for new videos every single week. Open the description box. Follow me on my Twitter, my Snapchat, my Instagram. Like, snap me, tweet me, and like all my pictures. And that's all I have for you guys for this upload. So until my next upload, remember, I'm only here to save your Mondays and occasionally your Thursdays. It is entirely too hot in here. Oh! I think I pulled my quadricep.